Currently in Australia, there are over 20,000 new diagnoses of prostate cancer every year, and that figure in America is over 300,000 men affected with this condition. The key to treating this disease effectively is early detection. In my experience as a urologist and director of the prostate clinic over the last 20 years, I wanted to share with you the most common signs that I see in my clinical practice that men have prostate cancer. As always, if you get benefit from the video, like, subscribe, and please pass a comment or share your story in the comment section down below. I'm going to share with you the three most common signs that I see in my practice that men have prostate cancer, starting with the least common and heading through to the most common sign that I see in my daily practice. Okay, so the third most common sign that I see that men have prostate cancer is something called hematospermia. Hematospermia is the presence of blood within ejaculate fluid. For the majority of men, it can be painless and the quality of their orgasm can be unchanged. What they notice, however, is either a slight discoloration to the color of their ejaculate fluid. Sometimes it can be frankly red, so bright red in color. Sometimes it can just be slightly pink in its tinge. So there can be various manifestations of blood within ejaculate fluid. Blood in ejaculate fluid does not mean that someone has a prostate cancer diagnosis. In fact, the majority of people that have blood in their ejaculate fluid actually have a benign enlarged prostate, and it can just be an overstretched blood vessel within the prostate that can split and tear during the process of sexual activity. If you'd like to be part of our growing community, please follow the link in the comment section down below and sign up to our free newsletter that comes out on a weekly basis, keeping you up to date with all aspects related to prostate health and various treatments that are available for men. Now back to the video. Number 2 is a change in urinary function. As many of you may be aware, the prostate sits underneath the bladder. It's shaped like a donut, and the outlet pipe of the bladder, which is called the urethra, passes through the middle of the prostate. As men progress through life, the prostate itself can grow, and when it grows, it causes compression or obstruction of the outlet pipe, and that can result in urinary symptoms. Prostate cancer can also grow and progress, and through that growth can occlude or provide compression to the urethra, which can lead to the development of, for example, a slow, hesitant urinary stream, taking longer to pee than normal, and potentially getting up more times at night to go to the toilet, or even, in fact, rushing to the toilet in the day. Certainly, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, please go and see your local doctor and have a discussion about how you can test for prostate cancer. The most common sign that I see in my clinical practice that men have prostate cancer is no symptom at all. In fact, the way that we diagnose prostate cancer in contemporary practice, really for the majority of men, is through a change in the blood test. And that blood test is called the PSA. The PSA stands for prostate-specific antigen, and it's a protein in essence that the prostate produces. The challenge that we have is that that PSA test can go off for other reasons beyond just prostate cancer. That being said, for around 70% of men that I see in my practice, the way that we diagnose prostate cancer is through the use of the blood test. You may have heard me talk in previous videos that certainly if a man has an elevated blood test, yes, there can be other causes for that, but the way that we determine a man's risk of having prostate cancer is by performing an MRI scan. It's relatively non-invasive. Certainly here in Australia, if men fulfill certain criteria, there is no cost for having an MRI. And really, it has been the cornerstone over the last decade in how we diagnose men with prostate cancer. I often see in my clinical practice that when men have a change in their urinary function, for obvious reasons, they're worried about the potential for having prostate cancer. But in the majority of these men, what they actually have is a benign enlarged prostate. So as you can see, these are the three most common signs that I see in my practice as a urologist that men can have prostate cancer. Either blood within their ejaculate fluid, some change in their urinary function, or alternatively, just a change in the PSA test. If you have comments, questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you'd like to know more about your prostate, please have a look at this video or alternatively this video here. Until the next time, take care of your prostate.